It's a GoGo Joe show. Technology Tuesday. We're doing something related to technology today, and one of my favorite topics lately, GPT-3 powered AI generators. Let's see what today's is going to generate for us. It's a growth hack idea generator. Can it generate growth that lasts more than 4 hours? Because I ain't consulting my physician. Let's growth hack. It's the Joe Show. Welcome to my show. If you like my content, just a reminder, hit that subscribe button, or better yet, share me with a friend or post me on social media. That would be so helpful. It's not even funny. Today, as I mentioned, we're doing something around GPT-3 again, a little review, product review. This is formerly called Right Sonic, and now it is called GrowthHackAI. Not the most creative name, but let's see what they got for us. Here we are on GrowthHackAI. It says growth ideas generator, no sign up required. It's free, baby. We only have to put in 3 prompts here: a business description, a target audience, and target keywords. As always, I'm going to use my show as the example just because, 1, you're watching it, 2, it's the easiest thing to come up with right now. Business description. Here we go. The GoGo Joe Show is an almost daily show which focuses on technology, startups, dubstep, and indie games. It's hosted by Joe, just a guy, a normal, everyday dude. Target audience are, what's my target audience? Young people? Dang, my nose was so itchy right there. Founders. That's not true, but sure, we'll put it in there. Target keywords separated by commas here. There we go. So we got startups, technology, mindfulness, brain hacks, indie games, and the wubs, dubstep. We'll put music too, and maybe just games. All right, let's generate some growth hack ideas. I have no idea what to expect. Very curious what we're gonna get here. Let's see what they generated. We got 5 free ideas. Not sure if I can pay for more than 5 ideas. Let's see what we got here. The GoGo Joe Show is an almost daily show which focuses on technology, startups, dubstep, and indie games. It's hosted by Joe, me, just a normal guy, everyday dude. To build a following for your show, you need to find and create content that is relevant to your audience. So it didn't finish its thought there. It just ended with this, but it's telling me for my show to grow, that I need to find and create content that is relevant to my audience. Like, no shit, of course that's what you have to do. That's the point of growing a community and actually making a show, is that you're making content relevant for the people who are interested in you. So that first one, not the greatest suggestion. Let's see what we got in the next 4. Joe's a normal everyday dude. Create a segment called Joe's Life where he interviews people in the startup world. There we go. So it actually picked up on the fact that I'm a normal everyday dude. It seems like that was the seed for that thought. It's telling me to create a segment called Joe's Life where I interview people in the startup world. Not a terrible suggestion. It's something I've actually thought about doing, making an interview segment. I like sitting down and talking to people and seeing what they're all about. So kind of read my mind. A bit of a generic suggestion. I mean, you could tell that, or you could say that about any show, but the fact that it suggested it to me is interesting. I wonder if it would suggest it to somebody else who put in a similar prompt. Actually, I'm curious if it would just suggest all these exact same things to anybody, but that said, not a terrible second suggestion. Create a podcast that features interviews with founders of startups, kind of repeating the last thing, but let's see where it goes. The podcast can also have a segment where the founder talks about their favorite productivity hack. That's kind of interesting. So I must have picked up on the word startup and then realized that startup founders like to talk about productivity hacks or being more productive. And a lot of podcast interviews also focus on that. So interesting suggestion. And it's actually like making a little bit of specific suggestions, like having a segment, which is pretty weird. I wonder if that's because I typed in a show, and most shows have segments, so that's where it's getting the segment bit from. But yeah, again, a little bit generic, but cool that it kind of guided me towards a question of asking about productivity hacks. Next one is create a series of articles of how to be more mindful and focused. The articles will have topics like how to break out of bad habits or how to work smarter, not harder. This, noticed the word mindful that I put into the keywords, and it somehow knew that a lot of mindful content has to do around like being focused and working harder and breaking bad habits. So interesting suggestions, and it gave me 2 articles that I realistically could write if I wanted to write articles. So again, not a bad suggestion, but not really a growth hacky suggestion. So growth hacking kind of, in my mind, suggests that you're figuring out how a system works and taking advantage of that system to grow your audience. That's really what growth hacking is about. And that's really not what this is. This is kind of specific. Write these 2 articles, maybe you'll grow your audience. Last one says create a monthly newsletter for founders. This would be delivered to their inboxes every month with motivational tips for startups, as well as some exclusive deals and discounts. Again, a bit of a generic suggestion, probably based on the fact that I said I had a show and that it's repeatable content, so daily content. Newsletter is fine. It's something else that I've thought about doing, so I guess I can't like knock it because I've thought about doing it. I do have a lot of information that I could share around motivational stuff, startup tips, what has worked for me and my founders. So that's pretty interesting that I picked up on that stuff and even suggested it, as it were things that I was thinking of already. But they were rather generic, and it didn't really feel hacky to me. They just felt kind of like, hey, you could try this out, or here's an article or some segment that you can integrate into already existing content, which may or may not actually grow my channel. With that in mind, they weren't terrible suggestions. I actually expected a lot worse. They picked up on a lot of the keywords that I did put in there and made decent suggestions around those keywords. So I can't knock it too hard, especially because it's rather new and it's still learning, and maybe we'll get better. My only suggestion is that perhaps it could give me some more like hacky type suggestions on noticing systems, but how they're gonna code that to do that, I have no idea. I love this GPT-3 content. If you've got something you'd like me to review that you're making or that you know of, you can send those suggestions to hijoeshow@gmail.com. And if you like my content, please hit that subscribe button and mash that bell. And if you want to get more of this, check out my video up here from Copysmith and Snazzy Copywriting GPT-3 generator. I did a nice comparison video as they were kind of going at it on Product Hunt. And that's it. That's today's short GoGo Joe show. Until next time, I hope you text something good, because you know it. I love you.